Welcome back. The political news in full. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi said on Saturday that the Egyptian state is committed to inspecting and respecting the protecting rights and personal freedoms, the right of political participation and freedom of expression. This came during the launching of the National Strategy for Human Rights at the new administrative capital and attended by a number of ministers, state officials and representatives of human rights and civil society groups. More details.
President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi launched on Saturday a national strategy for human rights to develop a comprehensive approach to human rights as an integral part of implementing the country's national development project. At the start of the event, President el-Sisi viewed a documentary film which discussed highlights of current efforts to bolster human rights in Egypt. The event, which was held at the new administrative capital, was attended by a number of ministers, state officials and representatives of human rights and civil society groups. President el-Sisi said that launching the National Strategy for Human Rights in Egypt is a focal point in the history of Egypt, considering it as a serious step towards the road of elevating the human rights in Egypt. The president noted that Egypt was one of the founding countries that contributed to the drafting of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948. The president said the Egyptian state is committed to respecting and protecting personal freedoms, the right of political participation, and freedom of expression. President el-Sisi said that Egypt welcomes differences in opinions as long as they respect the freedom of others and aim, through constructive criticism, to achieve the better for the country and people. During a roundtable discussion on human rights at the event, el-Sisi hailed the role of the civil society as main and important in enhancing and protecting human rights at the political, economic and social levels. He said the civil society organizations contribute to spreading awareness of human rights in society and participating in the efforts to face extremism. El-Sisi added that the current development is the basic part of building the state. Moreover, President el-Sisi stated that the Egyptian constitution has achieved a leap in citizenship and equality, stressing that Egypt has a national structure that protects human rights. The head of the state pointed out that Egypt continues its efforts in achieving freedom of belief and equality.
Speaking at the event, Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry said the state has prepared a national strategy for human rights through a scientific and consultative approach. Over the course of the year, Shoukry said the state has studied human rights recommendations put forth by Egypt's National Council for Human Rights and coordinated with more than 30 ministers and bodies to assess the requirements of their implementation. The minister added that consultative approach included expanded community dialogue and hearings, including the National Council for Human Rights, the Parliament's Human Rights Committee, civil society groups, NGOs and others. The top diplomat noted that the state aims to achieve progress in a balanced way through legislative and institutional development. He also explained that the protection of human rights constitutes a governmental policy and goal and is backed by an independent and impartial judiciary that acts as a guarantor for the rule of law of the protection of rights. Shoukry said the strategy strengthens the state's policy, backing the rights of women, youth, the elderly, the disabled, and all stratas of the society. In his speech at the event, Egypt's permanent representative of